Welcome, Paris Chica family. Welcome to video number 6. If this is the first time tuning into one of these videos, welcome. And I encourage you all to go back and watch videos 1 through 5 because this video is an accumulation of information that has been discussed, bestowed over the last several videos. And if you are watching one of these videos for the first time and you're watching on Facebook, please go to the YouTube channel. It's the same name, Everything Paris Chica, because all of the videos are together and you can watch them in succession. Just grab a cup of coffee, have a seat, and enjoy. They're only between 10 to 15 minutes long individually. So best place to watch the videos are in YouTube. Have you ever typed in the search field Paris Chica? There are tons of Paris Chicas there. The nice thing is there are so many young people that next generation X is now coming into the world and they need to know about their Paris Chica history. So if you know some of them or if you are one or two of them, invite others to join that channel. It's not a place for me to earn anything. It's not monetized. I'm not going to encourage you to like and subscribe because that's not what that channel is all about. It is all about sharing Paris Chica history and beyond. So past videos, it's been primarily about the first Paris Chica from Spain, Francisco Perez de la Chica and his wife, Maria Prisca. Today is going to be a little bit about storytelling. But before we get into storytelling, I wanted to share a new find that I had. If you remember from the last video, I believe it was video number 6, I said this. I've been looking for Jose Isabel and Luciano forever. I can't find anything more on these guys. That's all I have for Maria Francisca. Now, let me show you that updated chart. Bam! All of these individuals here in the, I guess this is pink color, I'm not sure, are new finds. This is a rabbit hole that I went down all of last week. So if I zoom in here, the new person that I found that started this rabbit hole chase is named Petra Perez Chica. So you see Petra has an unknown parent. That is an unknown father. She is the daughter of Maria Francisca. Maria Francisca, before Sebastian, had this child out of wedlock. How do I know it was out of wedlock? Because of this document here. When Petra got married to this Francisco cat, they got married and this document was produced. And what it shows is Maria Petra Perez de la Chica here, 16 years old. She was originally from Jaltiche, and she is hija natural of Francisca Perez de la Chica. So what does that tell me? Many of you already know this, but if you're new to reading Spanish documents from the 18th century, what hija natural means is born out of wedlock. And how I know that, let me show an example. Here's a document of the next person in line. This Silverio, he was considered hijo legítimo of, and there's his father and his mother. So he had both parents. They were, he was born in wedlock. Hijo legítimo. Had Petra been born in wedlock, is there a better term for that? I'm not sure. It would have said here, hija legítima, rather than hija natural. Are we okay here? All right. So based on this marriage, let me go back. By the way, her mother, Francisca, she died in 1816. You see, Petra was born in 1810. So Petra was only 6 years old when her mother died. Petra got married in 1826, so she was only 16 years old when she married. But look at the family they had. I'm only on the 3rd generation after them. There's more, but this is a week's worth of work here. So I just wanted to show you some behind the scenes, how this whole process works. And I also wanted to share with you the new names. All these names exist in Calvillo now. Ramirez, De Luna, Figueroa. A lot of you are from Calvillo or know of family or have friends. And you know a lot of these are, again, common names in Calvillo. Didn't mean to get off track. So now let's get into storytelling. When it comes to your family group, your family base, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, you know them all, you know who they all are, and even after a couple generations, that family group is still intact. But after 3 or 4 generations, you would be surprised, or at least I was, as to how much that separates. So I'm going to give an example of that happening in Calvillo. So this is a video that I recorded sometime in the past, maybe last week. So let's jump over to the Andy of last week. All right? Córtalo. So we are deep rooted, if you are a Parish Chica, in Calvillo. And what's interesting to me is how the histories just start weaving in and out, back and forth. For example, my great-grandparents were they first cousins? I want to say that they were first cousins. Yeah, so here it is. This is my great-grandfather, Crescencio Perez Chica. He married Maria Santiago González Perez Chica, and they are first cousins. Let me make sure, check the notes. Yep, they were first cousins to each other. So, common in their document, it says that they had to check with the powers that be in the Catholic Church to get their permission. And apparently they did, because look at all the kids they had. So, one of the things that is so gratifying for me personally is because of my genealogy, I've been able to bestow some relationships, some interesting and great relationships, and I like to share some of those with you today. This is my father here, Manuel Perez Chica. These are all of his siblings, so quite a few. Most of them migrated to California. 2 of them stayed. 2 of their sisters, Felicitas and Luisa, remained in Calvillo. I know that Felicitas married Vicente de Lara, and I recall walking the streets of Calvillo that there was a mini super de Lara, and it dawned on me, you know what, I wonder if that is the same de Lara that married Felicitas. So I thought I'd walk in cold. I walk into this mini store, and it's well kept, and there's some customers, and there's a lady behind the counter with this very outgoing, positive personality. So I waited my turn, and then when she asked what she can do for me, my Spanish is terrible, but I tried. I always try in Mexico to speak Spanish. And I told her in Spanish, I'm going to speak English. I won't do that to you. I said, my name is Andy Perez Chica. I'm from California. My father was Manuel. And then I started naming off the siblings. And her eyes got big. And before I got to the end, she finished the list. Oh my God, it was open arms after that. And she takes me around, she introduces me to a family. And it was quite a time. What I've learned since then is there's Parish Chicas that are so closely related in Calvillo, and they don't even know it. So that was a reward for me, meeting the De Lara family. And we also took a trip because she knew of a Parish Chica in Las Animas. They are from Luisa. Somehow, over the years, the families separate, and because of the genealogy, they're able to come back again. It's kind of emotional, because while in Las Animas, the descendant of Luisa, already a frail little old lady, asks us, come out here, let me show you. I have something you might be interested in. And there's this huge old molcajete that she has out in her garden, just as a yard art. And she says to me, she offers it to me. She says, I think that you should have this. This belonged to my grandmother, Luisa. But she said it was over 100 years old, so I'm thinking that it did not belong to Luisa. It belonged to her mother, which was Maria Santiago, my great-grandmother. So there's no way that I could have gotten this molcajete that weighed a ton back home with me on the plane without being charged appropriately. So I turned to my new Delada cousin, Maria Carmen, and I gave it to her. And she, of course, was honored because this is her great-grandmother as well. So that's one example. Here's another example. This is one of my favorites. So in Kingsburg, California, this is like an hour and a half away from where I live in Merced, there are Perez Chicas, although they spell their Perez with an S. They're all weird that way. But Henry was the storyteller, and I always need to get him on record, but I don't know if it's going to ever happen. Henry tells a story of a time that his father took him to Calvillo, and they went to visit Luisa. So when Henry and I first met, he went through the list of names, and he saw Luisa, and he says, wait a minute. This Luisa was the neighbors to my father when he was a child growing up in Calvillo. And he proceeds to tell me the story. So here it is in a nutshell. Henry's grandfather, Jose Maria, was a villista back in the war, back in the Revolutionary War. When that ended, the Cristero War was right after, and he was on the wrong side. So the Federales came, arrested him from his home, and in front of his family, I think this was in Las Animas, they hung him. They executed him. So Luisa Perez Chica took this family in since they lost their father and helped them along. Rufina Carrillo was the wife of the man who was executed. So they always considered themselves primas, so did the kids, because they were both Perez Chicas. But Henry's father witnessed all this. By that time, he was like 5 years old, but he would always bring Henry to Luisa's house to pay respects because of what she did for their family. And when Luisa took ill and passed, she died in the arms of Rufina, who they were that close. You know, you don't go to the hospital back in those days. Your neighbors pitch in. And so Henry had that close attachment to my great aunt that we would have never known otherwise had it not been for genealogy. So our two families have that link, that attachment, and I think that's incredible. So there you have it. Myself, Henry Perez Chica, we both descend from Francisco Perez de la Chica, the original one. I come from the Gaetano side. He comes from the Jose Maria side. You all know how close those two were because of all the babies that they baptized in Calvillo. But it only took 3 generations before those families drifted apart, only to be brought back together again, being neighbors in Las Animas and having to live out their lives together. And then just 2 generations after that, Henry and myself get brought back together in a family reunion to bring the story back to life. That's just amazing. So I have more stories, but I promise to keep these videos between 10 to 15 minutes. But what stories do you have of separate Perez Chica clans coming back together after many years? Until then, we will see you on the next video. Ciao.